excerpt number 7. It's all about that pop. It's really got to pop. Rosining your bow is really going to help if you haven't in a while. It'll make this whole bow stroke a lot easier. So what we really want to do is grip it, grip it, pop it. It sounds like a bop it, twist it,
Tap it.
turn it, pass it, grip it, and pop it, and then release. That's the big key of this whole stroke is the release. Everybody can grab the string, really kind of have it, and you can pop it. That's not the hard part, but not sustaining, and then maybe the last portion should be, grip it, pop it, release, and then let it come to a complete stop. It'll turn into this like martellato stroke that they're looking for, this pop stroke. Will turn into legato if you don't let the bow come to a stop and then re-grip it. So after I would really just spend spend a lot of time just on this open string. Just really getting this stroke and really the thing I would really recommend is don't be in a hurry when you are practicing this excerpt. When this etude, when you really start, just be very some are going to be better than others. Yes, there's a lot of notes to learn, so maybe you don't always have to stop and go back for everyone sometimes, but just like always be checking in, and especially it's good after you get to sort of these longer notes, or there's a half note, this okay, I'm gonna restart. This is your chance to have a new beginning. If maybe you made some mistakes in the past, and this is your chance. I'm gonna start over. When you get to these, like every time you get to a new beginning, really be just like checking it. Am I gripping it? Am I popping? Am I releasing it? Sounds like a cool dance move. I should invent this, but. Yes, when it speeds up, it's harder to hear that pop, 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 but it really is this is a very important bow stroke, as you'll see in the excerpt coming up, that you have to have in your bag of tricks. Okay? This kind of tension, it's all going to be controlled in your fingers. Here. Okay, I'm sorry for being so long-winded about the bow stroke, but that really is the point of this etude. There are just a couple fingering choices that I borrowed from the International Edition, which is the book that I have of all the etudes. I don't mean to cause any controversy. You should probably just stick to the edition that they have. All the notes are the same, of course. There's just one thing that I think makes life a little bit nicer, is that at the end of the first line, my page is falling down. If you shift into third position here, I think it makes life a little bit nicer, and then you can kind of shift down into second finger, second position, and then first position, as I've noted there. That shouldn't cause any waves. People shouldn't, barbecue me in the comment sections for that. And then also there's, just towards the end, there's some nice opportunities to kind of emphasize kind of the strong beats when you get to this last line. This. If you stress the bottom note and then the top note and then the bottom note and the top note again, it just kind of adds some definition to this shape. One last little recommendation I have is to maybe just add a little bit of vibrato to these quarter notes at the top of the scales. And then, so a little bit of vibrato kind of just is nice. And then try to regroup quickly, but make sure you're in place before you start playing. And if you need to take just, a fraction of a breath to get there, it's better to regroup, start, okay. And then make sure you find that E. That's part of the hardest one, to find that E in fourth position, because it's a scale, and if you start out of tune, the whole scale is going to be out of whack. So really, just take a second, find yourself, and then go. Again, it's always better to play this a little bit slower and cleanly than just racing through it and it's a mess. It doesn't really demonstrate anything. These are, the last one, I don't know if I mentioned this already, the fingerings in this last line is really tricky. To go from fourth position to shift to fourth position here, and then shift to fifth position. I really recommend make sure you keep your second finger on the string when you shift, even while you're playing that open string. And then they go back to fourth position, so you got to go fourth, fifth, fourth. So that's a big shift there too. So this last line, chances are they'll probably stop you before you get there, but that's just life. I've gone to professional auditions where you had just this laundry list of excerpts, and they say they're going to ask for 4 of them, and you only play 2 of them, and it's just like, oh, I spent all this time practicing that. So I know the feeling. Let's move on to the Egmont.
Buy up a Philly shop,